Would you like to know the practical steps that you can take, literally things you can do right now to see the success, to see the blessing, to see the manifestation of what it is that you're believing for, so it'll show up in your life? In this video, I'm going to give you 3 ways, that practical ways, that you will be able to implement and see the success, the blessing, the manifestation that you literally sense it in your knower, that should be in your lap right now. Let's get into it. It's your favorite Dr. Honey, Dr. Faith Abraham. Welcome back to the channel, the place where you get your mind right, your spirit right, and your money right. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 very practical, very easy ways to see the success, to see the blessing, to see the manifestation of what it is that you are believing for. One of the things that I've come to notice is that when people talk about success attraction, or they talk about manifestation, or they talk about the law of attraction, they say these things and they say it apart from God. I believe in manifestation. The Bible talks about it. The earth is waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. God will make himself manifest on the earth. Like, there's so many scriptures that use that word. And what's happened is a lot of people have latched onto the word, but have removed the essence of the word, or the one who makes those things become to pass, and they attribute it to other things. On this channel, we do not do that. We give all glory to the one who makes it all possible, because we are creative beings, we are spiritual beings, and that is because we are made in the image and likeness of God. So as he is, so are we. We are his children. And so when we are talking about the blessing, when we are talking about success, when we are talking about manifestation, we are talking about it in tandem with God, as God desires it, in his perfect will for our lives. Because there will be times when you are following in your purpose. You have your purpose-driven business. You're in your purpose-driven life. You are in your career that edifies and brings up your purpose. You are working in ministry and doing these things, fulfilling your purpose. And yet, there will be barricades, blockades, mountains, warfare, like all kinds of stuff that is going on, keeping you away from what you're supposed to be experiencing. I can't even tell you. I have stories upon stories upon stories about when things like that have happened to me. And usually that type of thing happens right before a breakthrough, or right before there's this big shift in my life, in my business, or my ministry, or my marriage, or whatever it is that I have, I'm thinking about or have going on. And I notice that a lot of times people say this thing, it's cute, but it's not true, which is, if it's God, it's going to come easy. It's going to flow. There's not going to be any hindrances. It's going to be, like magic. Yes and no. Sometimes that is the case, but other times there will be a counterfeit before the actual blessing comes. There will be warfare before the actual blessing comes. And either way, we're okay. We are steadfast. We are immovable, unshakable, rooted in faith, rooted in love. So either way it comes, it doesn't matter. What matters is that it comes. And here are the 3 things that you can do right now to make things come to pass. Number 1, first and foremost, is speak those things that be not as though they were. I cannot tell you how many times I'm like praying, I go on a fast, I am like, Lord, what is going on? Where is my breakthrough? Like, just give me the tracking number, so at least that way I can track that it's coming to my house. Please and thank you, right? But it didn't happen. It didn't come. And I'm doing all these things, and I'm like, okay, I'm praising, I'm worshiping, I'm, fasting, I'm praying, I'm using the tools in my spiritual tool belt. Okay? And I'm walking and I'm operating by faith. What is going on? Guess what happens? When I begin to speak out what I'm believing for, what I'm sensing in my spirit is supposed to come to me, it's supposed to be in my hand, that's when things start happening. I start getting emails, I get phone calls, I get text messages, I start meeting people, and people start reaching out to me, DMs, and I'm like, whoa, I start speaking the thing out. So whatever it is I'm believing for, whatever it is that I'm anticipating, I start to say it. I say it when it comes to my mind. I say it when I'm discouraged. I say it, and I say it out loud. I literally say it out loud. My business at some point, I told you guys I got sick for a season. And so I couldn't do my one-on-one sessions with my clients. And, I hated that. And my income was really affected in my business during that season. And so what I started doing was I started speaking health and life over my body. I was operating my business and my home from my bed because I didn't have the energy. My legs would feel like steel. My nervous system was just shot. I just really could not function. But when I would take my supplements, when I would eat things, when I would drink water, because I started making sure I was drinking at least the equivalent of about 5 bottles of water at least a day. I would say every time I drink water, my body is revitalizing. It is healing from the inside out. Ooh, I could feel the energy pulsating through my body. Yes, God, come on in here. Oh, I'm going for a run. I played tennis with my husband. And child, he tried to beat me and he could not. I had so much energy. I had so much stamina. And I start speaking it out. So what I'm anticipating, this is not what's happening. There's no evidence or proof. But I start saying it out. I'm doing my makeup and I'm looking at myself. Oh, honey, I look good. My YouTube channel is blowing up. People are loving it. I'm getting feedback from the north, from the south, from the east, and the west. My angels are gathering people to my YouTube channel. I got my button. I got my play button. Finally, yes, let's go. Like, I'm saying these things. I'm speaking it out. I'm speaking it out. I'm speaking it out because one of the things, and this is for my life, there are some people when they sow a seed, that's when things shift for them. There's some people when they pray and they go on a fast, that's when things shift for them. All of these spiritual tools work. Hear me and hear me very well. All of the tools work. However, there are some tools, just depending on who you are, how God's called you, how God's wired you, that just work, and they work better for you. So pay attention. That's part of having that relationship with Him. Pay attention to the tools that really, really move the needle for you. Write down those testimonies. Write down what God has done for you. So that way you can go back, see what He's done. Because if He did it before, then He can definitely do it again. And if you realize the tools that you were using, then you can tap into those tools again and move the needle by faith with Him. Whew! I spent a lot of time on that one, but I think you see the reason why. Next up is visualize. And this coincides with speaking those things that be not as though they were. You have to visualize. You have to play it on the canvas of your imagination. Miles Monroe used to always say, the only nation that is free, the free nation of imagination, will take you very far. If you can see it within yourself, in your imagination, within your being, within your heart and your spirit, man, you will have it. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I like to say, out of the abundance of the heart, your life shows forth what's inside. That is literally how things go. Even when God told Abram, hey, leave your father and mother's house, go to a land that I'm going to show you, go ahead and get over there. He did it. And he just moved. Then sometime later, they were him and Sarai at that time, were wanting to have a baby. So they were older though. And he said, Abraham, go outside. As many of the stars as you can count, that's going to be the number of your children. That's a lot of stars. They didn't even have one child, let alone the multitude of stars that are in the sky. What was God asking him to do? He was asking him to visualize. He was asking him to play with it on his imagination, because whatever you can see within yourself is what will materialize in your life. So take time every single day, even when the blessing comes, because I know it's going to come. And even after watching this video, come back, save it, come back to the comment section and let me know. I watched the video on this day, and then I did what you said, and then on this day, that's when the blessing came forth. That's when I got the phone call. That's when I got the email, right? Okay, so when you're visualizing and you're seeing it, your brain doesn't know what's actually happened and what you're just playing on in your mind. So if you play something in your mind enough, your brain is going to say, oh, this is our reality. Now it's going to make it a reality. That is the spiritual nature of our lives. And that's how you can absolutely see the blessing, the manifestation, the abundance come forth. Last but not least, number 3 is be humble. Love God, be humble. Work like it's all up to you, but be humble because you know it's up to God. And of course, in his divine timing, things will come to pass and things will happen. But if you're doing these things and you're doing the right things, it's going to come forth. And you have to humble yourself to know, like, hey, I don't always know the divine timing of my life. Hey, I feel like this is the will of God and that's why I'm believing for it. But if it's not, no problem. Redirect me, pivot me, take me to what is actually for me. That is humility. And that is knowing that, yes, you are a king and a priest unto God by Christ. You know, you are, according to the book of Psalms, God's, little g, but God's. But even we bow down and we lay our crown at the feet of Jesus. We know that he is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So if he is the King of all kings, he is the Lord of all lords, and we are a king, then guess what? We can humble ourselves to the one that is of higher ranking, knowing that he is of high ranking and he's the one that's going to make it come to pass. Because if we make it come to pass, then that means we got to maintain it. Scary thought. But if he makes it come to pass, then he's the one that has to maintain it. And I don't know about you, but I like the second option better, and I'm going to stick with that second option. But those are the 3 things that you can absolutely do. Tap into that spiritual tool belt. I say that these are all part of your spiritual tool belt to winning in life. So tap into it. It's part of your spiritual formula. Let me know if you liked this video and you enjoyed it. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe. It lets YouTube know that other people need to know what's up. They need to know how to do this for themselves. And let me know in the comments, like, did you try it? Which one did you try? Which one did you need to really tap into to see the benefit? I want to rejoice with you. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. I want to rejoice with you. And hey, mourning sometimes isn't a bad thing, especially if you humble yourself, because you are mourning, getting rid of that pride so that the power of God can come alive. So I would love to hear from you on that. And I'll definitely see you in the next video that I have loaded up for you, because I know it's going to be good and it's exactly what you need. So I will see you there.